Hi, hey, welcome back to Mike Simpson Wood Carving. Today the video is on carving a Raggedy Ann Christmas ornament. I had promised we'll do one of these back when I posted the Raggedy Andy video, and so now we're going to go ahead and do his mate, Raggedy Ann. So stay tuned. Okay, once again, today we're going to carve a Raggedy Ann Christmas ornament to go with the Raggedy Andy that we did a week or two ago. And so this is what she looks like painted. Here's what she looks like when she's finished carving. And, so as most of the other ornaments we've done in the past, we'll start out with a blank that's been jigsawed out. And I'm going to start with a V tool or a parting tool. And all of those inner lines that depict all the details that make this a Raggedy Ann, I'm going to basically draw on the wood with the V tool and make all those lines more of a three-dimensional appearance than being flat. I've actually got I'm displaying this in a slightly increased speed. So you'll see some of my movements may seem a little jerky, but it's because this is in a little bit higher speed. And I'm doing that just strictly to keep the video down under 10 minutes so that it's more palatable for viewers, because sometimes watching somebody do something particularly like this, I mean, you get the gist of what I'm doing. I certainly don't want to take anything out, but you can get the gist of what I'm doing, even though I'm doing it, maybe it'll be a little bit higher speed than real time. I've had a few questions over the last few weeks roll in, and it caused me to realize that I really haven't had much of a way for anybody who's watching to get a hold of me or ask questions. And so feel free to leave comments. The questions, those will show up, so I'll be able to see those, and I'll try to reply to them. I also I saw the other day, it was really neat, a video where a person was doing a craft skill, and they had opened it up to questions, and they invited people to actually had sent either pictures or videos of them asking the question, and they put a video together of all the questions that they had received, and they actually had the people asking the questions, and then they would respond, and so feel free to do something like that if you want. I'm not sure if I'll have enough to put together a video, but if I do, I will. If I don't, I will include it on the tail or at the front end of one of these other videos. The first question that I had was like, where do you get tools? And I went ahead and put a video out about that, where Dastra is the brand name. You can find them online. They make a really good. It's a German brand tool, and most of my tools are Dastra tools. But there's a ton of tools, and Woodcraft also carries some really nice, a nice variety. And yeah, unfortunately, any good tool, they're expensive. They were expensive when I bought them, but they were way cheaper than they are now. And so tools, and where to get them. That's one question that I've sort of addressed. The other question was like, where do you get wood if like if you don't live near a source? And the reality is, most of the carvings that you're seeing me do, these ornaments, um, I'm doing them on a flat poplar, and it's like a 3/8 inch poplar, and which carves pretty good, accepts stain pretty well, and okay, now I'm going to switch, and I'm going to outline on the outside areas with a knife, and if you see me right there using my left thumb pushing the back of the blade, um, and then sometimes I'll use my left thumb to push the right thumb right there. That's what I'm doing there. So those are two ways to provide leverage and keep your hand in a safe spot away from the edge of the blade. And but to go ahead and answer the question where I get my poplar, believe it or not, I'm actually, most of the wood that you're seeing came from Home Depot, and I'm not getting paid by them or to give a plug, but I've looked around, and they actually have a pretty good selection of, and it's not too expensive. Um, like about a, what is it, about 3.5 foot, 3 foot piece of poplar that's big enough to, like, say, do these Raggedy Anns out of, is like $3 or something like that. So, and I can get about 8 carvings out of it. So that's not too expensive. Um, if you were buying it by the board foot that way, it'd be maybe a little bit pricey, but I'm not buying much, and um, so that's where I get my wood, and and I miss the good old days back when I worked for Silver Dollar City wood carving, Ozark Mountain Wood Carving, which back in the day was owned by Peter Engler, and he had a partner that he took on, a fellow by the name of Ron Kahn, and they would buy, actually they would buy, I think it was train car loads of basswood at a time. And if I remember right, I'm not sure I remember the right numbers, but my memory is that they bought like $15,000 worth of wood one year, and and put it in a warehouse, and it was this like super clear, just incredibly nice carving wood that we used throughout the year, all the carvers, to produce product for them. And it was, you kind of got spoiled because, man, it was the nicest wood to carve on in the world, and they had a lot of it. And it was nice dimensions. It was um, like eight 8 inches wide by 4 inches thick, and they were like 10, 12 feet long. So, um, and it had been kiln dried. So, I really got spoiled by having really good carving wood like that when I was working down there at Silver Dollar City as a young budding wood carver. And but now that I'm doing, like for these ornaments, why that poplar from Home Depot is perfect. And what you see me now is like with a small V tool, as I'm putting some of those details in. I think the very last thing I'm going to end up doing with this is putting the collar in her dress. She's actually wearing an apron over a dress, and you can't really tell that from the carving so much, but once it's painted, where you can tell the apron is a different color than the dress, at least in the pattern that I use, and so I'm finishing up that collar, and that's it. There's a Raggedy Ann. Hope you enjoy giving this a try. And there's what she looks like painted. So, see you later.